Hi friends, I'm Kerry. I'm back with another workout for you today on behalf of the UNC Wellness Centers. Today's workout is going to be a Pilates based core workout, and all you need is a mat and yourself. So let's get going. Again. So let's just sit up nice and tall. I've crossed my legs, but if that's not comfortable for you, sit whatever way is comfortable. See if you can sit up nice and tall, elongating your spine, dropping your shoulder blades down towards your hips, and taking some breaths. Just breathe normally. And notice where you're breathing. Are you breathing up in your breastbone? Maybe you are. So we're going to bring that breath down into our rib cage. So let's just go ahead and put the heels of your hands around your waist, your fingers coming in. And as you breathe here, see if you can feel bringing the breath into the heels of your hands. And exhaling, bringing your third fingers closer together as you knit those ribs together. Inhaling into our side ribs and our back body, and exhaling. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. Can we start to engage our abdominals gently? We're not belly breathing. Post-lateral rib cage breathing. And now relax your hands down, see if you can keep that breath going. And let's take a movement of our spine, reaching, inhaling over, softening that elbow on the floor, and exhaling up. As if you're moving between two panes of glass. So we're going side to side without any rotation. And that upper side of your body, feel like it's lifting up rather than collapsing down on the lower side. Good. Let's do a little rotation. Taking our hands into our genie arms, sitting up nice and tall. Just a slight rotation. Feeling like you're wringing out a waist that is like a towel. Make sure you continue to breathe and continue to drop those shoulders. All right, we're going to come down onto our backs. Holding onto those legs, lowering yourself down. So my knees are bent, my feet are flat on the mat, but they're pretty much at a right angle. I don't want you to pull your heels in really close. So your legs should be in a relaxed position. Palms are down, and I just want you to scan your body and notice the shape of your spine especially. So we have a natural curve in our spine. Starting with our head, the back of our skull is touching, and then we have our cervical curve coming away from the mat under our neck. We come down into our thoracic spine. We have our shoulder blades touching. And then as we get into our lumbar spine, we have another curve where a little bit of air moves in our low back. And then we come down into our sacrum, where once again, our tailbone is heavy into the floor. So that's our natural curve, and as we move, we're going to keep coming back to this natural curve. So first what I want to do is work on flattening that lumbar curve and a little bit of an imprinted spine. So on your exhale, feel like you're pulling your pubic bone up towards your navel and shortening the space between the ribs and the hip bones. And you'll feel like your lower back flattens a little bit and then release. We're just going to warm up that low back by this small movement. Exhale as you imprint, inhale as you release. Notice that I'm not lifting up my hips off the mat and my legs are relaxed. So this movement I'm doing is really by drawing my abdominals tighter. Let's do one more. Good. So I'm back to my neutral spine. Let's hyperextend that low back. I'm pushing into an anterior tilt. My tailbone is now down. My pubic bone is pushing between my legs, and then I'm coming back to that neutral spine. So arching that low back, hyperextending that back, and coming back to neutral. Imagine you had a marble sitting right in your belly button, and we want to roll that marble down between your legs, and then you want to roll it back into your belly button. Let's do that one more time. Good. Now let's roll that marble all the way up into your rib cage by going into that imprinted posterior tilt. So now I'm going to move that marble front to back. Maybe if I was a clock, I'd be moving it from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. That low back is getting nice and warmed up. And let's find that neutral spine. Good. Let's go into our upper back a little bit, and let's squeeze the shoulder blades together, and we hyperextend. I can feel that upper back coming off the mat, and then opening up the shoulder blades so I come back to my neutral spine. So scapular retraction, squeezing the shoulder blades together, popping my rib cage out, but then bringing my rib cage back into neutral. One more time. Good. So let's come back to that wonderful neutral spine. So our rib cage is relaxed. We're breathing into the sides of the ribs. Our abdominals are slightly engaged, maybe about 30% effort, not really gripping. And we have that natural curve on our spine. We're going to start to move our legs. So we're going to bring one leg up to tabletop, which means that the knee is over the hip and the shin is parallel to the floor. And I'm going to lower that leg. And then I'm just going to alternate legs here. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you softly put it down. There shouldn't be any noise. You're using your core muscles, all those back muscles and all those abdominal muscles, to maintain stability everywhere in your body except for the hip joint, which is mobile. That's where I'm moving. Good. Let's do one more time each side. Nice. Now I'm going to bring both legs up to tabletop, and I'm going to draw my ankles and my knees together, and my shins are parallel to the ground. My abs are engaged, and notice that I'm still trying to hold that neutral spine. Now, if this is uncomfortable for you in your back, then I want you to pull your knees in over your navel a little bit more, and it will bring you into that posterior tilt where your back flattens, but it's going to be more comfortable. As your abdominals get stronger, you'll be able to bring your knees over your hips. So now what we're going to do is toe taps from here. So I'm going to tap one foot down and bring it back up. So we've just progressed the motion. If you're not at this level today, and every day is different, our bodies are different every day, if this doesn't feel good to you, put both feet back on the ground and continue with our first movement. Inhale as you tap, exhale as you lift. 4 more. Good. Let's go to another level. Let's take the first toes down, the second toes down, the first leg up, and the second leg up. So it's down, down. That second leg coming down is very challenging. You have got to hold those abdominal muscles tight. There shouldn't be any change in the shape of your spine while you're doing this. Good. 4 more. And 3. And 2. 1 more. Let's change legs. Start with the other leg. So I just switched to my left leg. Inhale and exhale. Good. Keeping that spine neutral by engaging those abdominals. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, 1 more. Awesome. Take both feet down. Let's take a little break. Open those arms, palms up to the side, and just gently rock those knees side to side. Let's keep both shoulder blades down, but lift the hip as those knees rock. So because we're lifting our hip, our rotation is in our middle back. And that's where we want it. Good. All right, let's continue. Bring those legs back up to tabletop. Now we're going to work on our obliques, which are going to stabilize us. So we're going to keep those arms out to the side for now. Legs are at tabletop. You're going to open your front leg to the side, but you're not going to move anything else. So we don't want the opposite hip to come up, and then we're going to squeeze it in. Let's just stay with that leg. So inhale as it opens and squeeze it in. Inhale as it opens and exhale as it comes in. 4 more. So if you open that leg too far for your body, you're going to feel rolling to the side, and we don't want that. 2 more. Good. Let's go to that back leg. So open it and squeeze it in. Inhale and exhale. Those oblique muscles on the side, those are the muscles you're using here to stabilize and not rock. Let's do 1 more here. Good. All right, let's try that again. A little more challenging. We're going to put our arms closer in. So now we're not stabilizing with our arms. And let's do it again. So open that first leg, and then let's go right to the other leg. So let's alternate those legs. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you close. Maybe you want to take your arms up to the sky. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Arms down by your side. We're going to lower both knees, both hips are going to open, and then we're going to draw those legs up. Now notice I'm not going all the way to the floor. Why? Because if I do, my neutral spine is going to arch. I can only control this movement to a certain level before my shape of my spine is going to change. And it's all about keeping stability in our lumbopelvic region. Inhale as you lower those legs away from you, and exhale as you pull them in. Let's do 1 more. Excellent. All right, we're going to hug those knees in. Hands are going to be on the shins, and we're going to do a cervical nod. So you're going to drop your chin, and then you're just going to lift your head. I'm just lifting my head. Okay, at this point, I am not lifting my shoulder blades, but I want to take the tension out of my neck. So I want you to put the tension into your stomach muscles, and then put your head back down. Inhale here, exhale, drop your chin to your chest. Eyes are on your navel. Pull your abs a little tighter. And inhale down. 1 more time. Chin to your chest, lift your head. Now, pull those abs tight. And lower your head. Let's lower your legs 1 at a time. Good. Open those arms, and let's just rock those knees side to side. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is start to work on our chest lift. If you have any osteoporosis or other spinal issues, spinal fusions, or anything with your neck, you're not going to do this part. You're just going to continue with that cervical nod we just did. But regardless, everybody's going to interlace their fingers at the lowest part of your skull. Head is down, and we're just going to lift those elbows up enough that they're in our peripheral vision. So if I'm looking straight ahead, I can just sort of see my elbows. So let's all do that cervical nod. So abdominals are engaged. Inhale here, exhale, drop your chin to your chest and lift your head. I'm not bringing my elbows in, they're staying soft. Now if you have no spinal issues, can you come up a little higher and try to get those upper shoulders off the mat. Eyes are on your navel, and then inhale down. So let's all do that to the level we're comfortable with. Inhale here, exhale, chin over chest, come up higher if you can. Elbows stay in the peripheral vision, not in front of you, and bring them back down. Good, 3 more times. Exhale, chin over chest. This is an isometric hold of our abdominal muscles. And inhale down. We got 2 more. Exhale, chin to chest. Lift off the shoulders if you can. And down. 1 more time. Chin over chest. Lift up. And come back down. Good. So we're going to move into our hundreds, and we're going to do various options for here. So hundreds is a very classic Pilates move, and the purpose is to get the body warm. So everybody is going to be able to do some variation of the arms. The arms are that they are long by your sides, they're just a few inches off the mat, and they're pumping up and down really strong. Nice straight arms, as if you were splashing water. If you have any kind of cervical condition or osteoporosis, we're going to keep your head down. One option you can do is that you could have your legs at tabletop when you do it. Okay? If you have no spinal issues, then you're going to bring your head over, up, and your eyes down, and you could do just one arm splashing and one arm behind your head, and you could switch about halfway through. If you feel like you have the abdominal strength, you've worked up to it, you could have your head up and both arms pumping. You could lift the legs to tabletop, or you could even extend the legs up. So I want everybody to find their option that works well for them. I'm going to take an intermediate option. I'm going to have my legs at tabletop, and I'm going to bring my chin over my chest, and here we go. We inhale 5 and exhale 5. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Strong pumping of those arms. Remembering that if your neck gets tired, one option is hand behind the head. If that doesn't help, put that head down. We don't want any tension in our neck. Eyes are down on your navel, chin over chest. Splash that water. Let's go 3 more rounds. 2 more rounds. 1 more time. And head down, knees in, and rest. We're going to move into some posterior work. That's our back body. So again, my feet are flat, my knees are bent at about a right angle, and I've got that neutral spine. I want to push down in my feet and imagine that my back is a plank of wood. So I'm going to hinge up in one motion. So as I lift my hips, I don't curl, I engage and I press into my feet and I lift my hips up. Trying to keep my knees aligned with my second toe and my hip bones. I'm not letting my knees fall open, and I'm not letting them kiss. So find that position and then just lower the hips down. So let's do that again. Engage the abdominals, lift up. I can engage my gluteals a little bit. I want a straight line, knees, hips, and shoulders, and come back down. Good, and let's do that again. Lift up. Notice that we're only coming to a position of a straight line. I'm not hyperextending that back and pushing my hips up, and my ribs are staying engaged. Lower down. We're going to do it 2 more times. Lift up. And down. Good. Let's lift up 1 more time. Now from here, we're only going to go halfway down and lift. So halfway down, and I'm going to engage my glutes and my inner thighs, adductors, to lift. Inhale down and exhale, lift. We're going to go for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up and lower down. Good. Let's pull those legs up to tabletop. I'm going to hold on to the shin of my right knee as I extend my left leg away. I'm pulling that knee in now towards my waist, and I'm going to switch and switch. This is Pilates single leg stretch. I'm doing it with my head down as one option. If you have no neck or back issues and your abdominals feel like they could handle it today, we're going to bring that head off the mat, shoulders off the mat. And again, I'm looking down at my belly button, and we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees in, head down. Good. The second one we're going to do is our double leg stretch. So I'm pulling those knees in. I'm going to extend my arms and legs, and I'm going to pull in. Now my extension might be here today, inhaling legs and knees, legs and arms straight to the sky, and exhaling. or more challenging could be to lower the legs and arms away. Regardless, we're keeping that spine in neutral. So if my legs are so low that my back arches, that's beyond where I'm able to do it today. So inhale as we reach and exhale down. Again, your option if you have no contradictions, medical contradictions, you could have your head off the mat. Inhale, reach, exhale, pull. We've got 3. Inhale, reach 2. Inhale, reach 1, and down. And then the last one we're going to do is going to be our scissored legs. So we're going to take our legs up to the sky. I'm going to grab behind my right leg and lower my left leg. Now notice my hands are behind my thigh, and I'm going to switch legs. This is a stretch. Inhale, switch, exhale, stretch. Inhale, switch, exhale, stretch. Now if you're flexible, maybe you want to take your hands up higher and grab behind your calf, because we're trying to get that stretch. But don't grab behind your knee. That's just not safe to grab onto a joint. So feel that nice stretch in those hamstrings. And once again, if it's appropriate for you, you could bring your chin and shoulders over your body. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 2 more. And let's rest. Rolling onto your side. We're gonna go into our clamshell legs. So I'm gonna have you lie all the way down, and I like to make a fist as a pillow and put it under my head. I like this position because here, my neck is no longer aligned with my spine. All right, so let's just have this nice long body. I'm gonna line up my heels with my rear end, again that right angle, and my knees are forward. I'm gonna rest my top arm on my body so that I have to use my abdominals to balance. I'm just gonna lift that top leg up and squeeze it down. Now notice this isn't a huge lift. What I'm trying to do is not rock backwards. So if I go too far, I'm gonna lose the alignment of my hips being stacked one hip bone over the other. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you squeeze. Keep breathing. You might be starting to feel this in your gluteus medius, and that would be a good thing. We got 2 more. 1 more time. Good, we're gonna do a second set. So let's lift those heels off the ground this time. This is a little bit more challenging. Again, you can always put those heels back down. So we've got 4. Imagine that there's a little egg under your waist and you don't want to crush it. So can you engage those abdominals so you create a little space, 2 more, underneath your waist. 1 more time. Good, and lower down. Now let's extend that top leg. And we're going to take our bottom leg straight out to the front corner of our mat. Again, this is a balancing challenge. So if you feel imbalanced, go ahead and bend that bottom leg. But from here, we're going to lower that top leg hip height and lift. I'm in a parallel position. Working those abductors to lift that leg away. Maybe you want to take that arm up to the sky for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now little pulses. 8, 7, 6. Are you rocking? Engage those abdominals. For 3, 2, 1. My leg is at hip height. I'm going to put that hand in front for this part. I'm going to bring that leg forward. I'm getting a nice stretch, pulling my toes to my knees, not bringing my hip forward. And I'm going to open that hip as I push the leg back. So bringing the leg forward and pulling it back. Again, moving at the hip joint and stabilizing the rest of my body. Pilates is easy until you do it right. So you should be feeling a challenge here. 4 more. 3, 2. And we're going to bring that leg forward and hold, and I'm going to point my toe. Little circles here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle back, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm gonna drop that knee in front and relax that glute a little bit. Good job. All right, let's push ourselves up and do the other side. So we're starting with that clamshell. I'm gonna put my wrist under my head. Knees are forward and stacked, so make sure one knee is not behind the other. Get them stacked, get your hips aligned. Remember that little space you want to create under your waist by engaging your abs. So we'll start off with our heels together, inhaling and closing, lift and lower. Keeping those hips stacked and not rolling backwards. Let's do 2 more. Good. Now we're going to move along. Option to lift those heels. Putting the hand here or keeping it on the side and lift. You might feel like you have a little bigger range of motion in this position. Continue to engage your abdominal muscles. Not sinking into the mat, but think about maybe feeling like you're floating on the mat. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, let's lower it down. We're going to extend that top leg and extend the bottom leg to the front corner of that mat. Option, hand can be in front, hand can be on your body, or hand can be up to the sky, depending on where you want to challenge your balance. Lift and lower. Keeping the toe and the knee pointed forward, relax that neck. 4, 3, 2, 1. Little pulses. 8. Pressing up. Push that heel away. Straighten out both legs. If they're straight, they're straight. If that bottom one is bent, it's bent. But don't make me guess which one you're doing. 3, 2, 1. Here comes that swinging leg. Slowly bringing it forward, feeling that stretch in the hamstring, pulling it back, feeling that opening and stretching of the hip flexors. Pulling forward and pulling back, trying not to rock your body. Relax the neck. 4, 3, 2, and bring it forward for 1. Point your toe, little circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it in. Good. Cross that leg over, rub it out, and we're going to move on. So let's come into our quadruped position. Hands under your shoulders and knees under your hips. My fingers are spread and I'm sort of pinching between my thumb and my index finger. And I have a neutral spine, so we don't want to be sagging. We want to be lengthened. Also, I don't want to be sinking into my shoulder blades, so I want to be pushing the mat away, but also not so far that I round my upper back. So it's actually a challenge to see if you can get what we call that neutral spine. All right, so from here, we're going to slide that right leg straight back, flex that foot, so my toes are pressing down, the base of my toes pressing down into the mat, and my heel pushing backwards. My hips are aligned. Can I lift that back leg and keep the hips aligned? So my toes are still exactly pointed down how they were, my abs are engaged. And we're going to tap the floor and lift, up and down. So I'm trying not to externally rotate that leg, at least not yet. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to externally rotate it. I'm going to turn my toes and knees to the right because I'm using my right leg. I'm going to pull that knee in towards my shoulder and press it back. Pull and press. So as I pull, I want to feel the obliques in my right waist. As I press, I want to feel my gluteal muscles. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to turn that foot back down so I can find my balance, taking my opposite left arm forward and then lifting that leg one more time. So can I find my balance here? We're going to hold this for 5, 4, stretching in opposite directions, 3, 2, 1. Come to those hands and knees and sit back into child's pose or any other position that is allowing you to relax. Also massage out those wrists because we need to do the other side. So come on back to that quadruped position. Now I'm taking my left leg straight back, squaring those hips, engaging the abdominals. Neutral scapula, those shoulder blades are neutral, not sinking into my shoulder blades. I'm gonna lift that leg. Here we go, it's about length of that leg, not height. Tap and lift. Keeping those hips even, keeping the abdominals engaged. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now I'm going to rotate that leg to the side. I'm going to pull that knee in and press back. Squeeze that waist and push and squeeze the buttocks. Squeeze the waist, squeeze the buttocks. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate that hip in, lower that leg, taking the opposite right arm forward. Then lift the leg and hold that, reaching in opposite directions. Staying here another 5, 4, working on your balance, 3, 2, 1, and find that child's pose. Let's come into our plank position. So let's get back into that quadruped position. Shoulders are over the wrists, but now what I want you to do is slide one knee and then the other back so that you're in a position where your hips are in front of your knees. And maybe today this is where you stay. You should feel the abdominals engage. If you want to, let's curl the toes and press up into a plank. And we're just going to stay here. Things to think about. I want you to imagine that you have a newspaper under each armpit. It's rolled up. I want you to hold it, so squeeze those armpits in. Put another newspaper between your legs and squeeze those inner thighs. Reaching through the crown of your head, your eyes should be on the edge of your mat. Don't hang your head. Lengthening your body. You're going to stay here for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Nice length. 2, 1, and find that child's pose. Let's move on to our side. So we're going to do a little bit of a mermaid movement. So my knees are forward. They're not stacked anymore. If it's comfortable for you, you could move your top knee back so that your front foot presses into your back thigh and really try to get that hip down. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach over, coming down to that elbow and then come up. You're going to grab that back shin and reach in opposition. So inhale as you go over, and exhale, and inhale as you come up, and exhale. So we're just moving side to side. It's fine if those knees are stacked. Good, one more time. We're gonna come over. I want you to stay here. So we have this nice side body stretch. Now what we're gonna do is rotate that top shoulder forward and reach. So we're getting a nice stretch through our lats and our back. And then we're gonna come back to side facing and pull ourselves up. Let's do it again. Come on over. We rotate and reach. We come center and up. One more time, coming over. Rotate and reach. Center and come up. Let's do a little tricep work. Let's take both hands that we're framing our front knee. So we're kind of on a diagonal here. And we're gonna bend our elbows against our ribs and push. Lower and push. It's a flat back. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. You should feel this in the upper back of the arms. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let's come back to our plank, but this time we're going to be on our forearms. So down on your forearms. Again, I'm going to move those knees back and position myself so my elbows are slightly behind my shoulders and my hips are in front of my knees. So maybe you want to stay here, and that's fine. Maybe you want to lift those knees. Find your plank body. Abdominals are drawn in. Shoulder blades are pulling down. Think of opening your collarbones. Reaching through the crown of your head. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop to those knees. Good. Find a comfortable way to sit. We're going to stretch out those shoulders a little bit before we move on. So we're going to take one hand in front, and you're going to hook your forearm with the other hand. Now drop your shoulders away from your ears. And I want you to reach the first arm you started with. I really want you to keep it straight and reach forward. Reach to me. Good. Now we're going to pull that arm across without letting the shoulder come with it. Good. Depending where you're tight, you could feel this anywhere from under your shoulder blade to up into your upper traps near your neck. Pull a little more and reach a little farther. Excellent. Shake it out. Let's do the other arm. Reach forward to me. Hook your forearm. Drop your shoulders. Sit up tall, engage your abdominals. Pull that arm across. Dropping the shoulder, getting taller. Reach a little longer, pull a little more, and release. Good. All right. So, ready for the other side. Let's find that mermaid. So again, either front foot to thigh or knees stacked. Hand down on the mat. Side bend, I'm going to bring that elbow down. So actually I get a little bit of tricep here in that arm. And then, see if you can just release that arm. Obviously you don't go as far in one direction. Here I can have great range of motion. Here it's more about stretching up rather than over. You got it. And just remember to breathe. Let's do one more. Good. And then let's turn. We're going to take that front knee forward, frame it, bring your hands in close to your body, bend the elbows against your ribs, and push. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to come onto our stomachs again, and we're going to work our backs a little bit in extension. So I'm going to lengthen my legs toenail side down. I can relax my knees and relax my bottom. So this isn't about squeezing your buttocks, this is about using your back muscles. So I'm going to lie down, palm over palm, and forehead to my hands. Imagine there's an ice cube under your belly button, so pull your belly button up into your body so that you're not sinking down into the ground. Good. We're just going to inhale, lift your head off your hands, look slightly forward, and exhale down. Inhale as you lift, and exhale down. So we're working the upper back muscles. You shouldn't feel anything in your lower back. If you are, then engage those abdominals a little bit, and also you could open your legs wider to relax your low back. Good. So let's add on. Let's lift your head off your hands. Abdominals engaged. Can you bring your hands up to meet your forehead? And then everything lowers. 3 parts. Head lift, hands lift, and everything lowers. Head lifts, hands lift, and down. 2 more times. Head lifts, hands lift, and down. 1 more. Head lifts, hands lift, and relax. Good. So now let's get into our lower back muscles. So what I want you to do is lengthen those legs, toenail side down. Head is going to stay down on your hands. Lift up your right leg only so that your thigh just comes off the ground. So your hip bones are still touching, and lower that leg. We're going to alternate legs, so lift and lower. Think of the length of the leg rather than the height. Now, if you remember one of our earlier exercises, we were in our bridge on our backs, and we did one knee up to tabletop, and then the other, and then one down and the other. So we're going to do the same thing here. So lift your right leg, lift your left leg, lower your right leg, lower your left leg. So if that's too much for you today, continue with just alternating leg lifts. So lift right, lift left, lower right, lower left. Lift right, lift left, lower right, lower left. 2 more. Up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Good. Turn your toes in, relax your knees, wiggle your hips, because we're not done. We have to start with the other leg. So let's re-engage. Head down on those palms. Navel lifted. Lift that left leg. Lift the right leg. Lower the left. Lower the right. Lift, lift, lower, lower. It's left up, left down, right down. We got 3 more. Up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Last time. Lift, lift, lower, lower. Awesome. Bend both knees. Rock those feet side to side, a little bit like windshield wipers. Good work. All right, this one is going to get into our glutes. So now that our feet are up, we're going to take our heels together, toes and knees apart. So my knees are wide. I'm going to keep my head down, keep my hip bones down. So push that pelvis, pubic bone down into the mat. See if you can lift your thighs off the mat without straightening your legs. And maybe it's like a 1/4 inch. It's the effort, not perfection. We're going for progress. Here we go. We lift and lower. Lift and lower. 6 and lower. 5 and lower. 4, 3, 2. One more time. Excellent. And bring those knees in. Rock those feet side to side. Let's stand up. to do a few balance positions before we finish here today. So first what I want you to do is bring your feet close together and just stand up nice and tall. Good. And let's just rock your body weight into the balls of your feet and back to your heels. And then find that neutral position where you feel balanced. Good. Now I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, take away that visual assistance, and now I want you to rock front to back. Eyes stay closed. Engage all those muscles we've worked, those back extensors, those abdominals, inner thighs. They're going to help you balance. Good. Find your neutral and open your eyes. Nice. Now let's take your right foot in front of your left heel to toe, like you're standing on a tightrope. And right away, you're going to find a balance challenge. So maybe you want to take your hands out, whatever feels good. I'm going to ask you to stand up tall and squeeze your thighs together to help engage all those muscles. You might want to find a focal point that doesn't move. Good. Stand up. So right about now, you're settling into it. You're starting to find where that balance is. So let's make it a little more challenging. I'm going to turn my head to the right. I'm going to turn my head to the left. Turn my head to the right. And turn my head to the left. One more time to the right. One more time to the left. I'm going to look straight ahead. Did you wobble? That's okay. I'm wobbling. That just means that all those stabilizing muscles are working. So stand up tight, nice and tall, engage those inner thighs, squeeze your glutes, abs engage. Close your eyes for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't peek. 4, 3, 2, 1. Open those eyes. Step out of it. Shake it out. Good. Let's do the other foot in front. Left foot heel to toe, like you're on a tightrope. Find that balance. We'll take a few seconds here just to find balance. Can you center your weight between your legs? Good. You got it. There we are. We're settling down. Okay, we're going to turn our head left. Whoop, to right. Oh, that was hard. So maybe you have a side that's a little bit more cooperative than your other side. That's fine. That's totally normal. We just have to work on both. Moving that head side to side. Good. One more time to the left. One more time to the right. And let's look straight ahead. Good. Engage those legs. Engage those abdominals, those glutes. Drop those shoulders. Here we go. Close your eyes. Hands can be wherever you want. Maybe they're out to the side helping you balance. 8, 7. Remember, no peeking. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now open your eyes. Great job, everybody. Take a big breath in. Good. We're going to do a swan dive. Inhale up. Bend those knees flat back. Bring your belly to your knees, to your thighs, and then relax your neck. Feel that nice stretch in your low back. Bend those knees. Drop that bottom. Shake out your head. See if you can keep your stomach on your thighs as you stretch those legs just a little bit. You get a little hamstring stretch. Bend those knees, hands to your thighs, flat back. Press yourself up. Big welcoming arms. Inhale. Give yourself a hug and a pat on the back. Exhale. Thank you for joining me today for our Pilates inspired workout, and I will see you next time. Take care.